Hey y'all, we back, y'all. We back with another reaction. I'm trying to tell y'all something, but y'all not listening. You got to listen. If you're the type of person don't listen and don't trust what I'm saying, you're on the wrong channel. Now we've been having a talk about this case. Y'all not listening. It's coming together. I'm telling y'all, what I'm saying is what this is. I'm just telling y'all spiritually what's going through my mind. Because I don't know what's going on. I'm just spiritually, my spirit is telling me what allegedly is going on. Because you know it ain't right. This case ain't right, y'all. It's a lot. Ain't making sense in this case. And y'all feeling sympathy, but y'all not paying attention. Everything about this case is in front of y'all eyes, politically. But y'all don't want to believe it. Y'all don't want to believe it. You want to argue, you want to fight, you want to fuss. I'm not here for that. That's just not me. I'm about business. I'm here for business. Okay? I'm going to let you take the table when you want to take the table, and that's when I'm going to leave. Okay? Because what happened to Miss Nancy Guthrie is not like the way it was told to us. It's not the way it was told to us. Something about this case. So what we're going to get in today. Now, y'all been doing good. You got some people on track because they here to study this case. Okay? They're here. If you're not criminal minded, this is not the place for you. If you're here to just say, "Oh, I'm not gonna give you that attention. I'm not gonna put your attention inside my mouth." The disappearance, Miss Nancy, it's a mystery. Y'all not paying attention to the post that Savannah is putting out there on Instagram. They didn't just walk in that lady house, y'all, and take her out of there for nothing. Dan Bogino, thanks a lot for a certain person in my chat. I listened to you. You was in here. You was in my chat. You was in my chat. You warned us. But people don't, only person know that you was in here is one of the other, it's Quinn. Quinn knew. Quinn mentioned that you wasn't in my chat. Lately, you've been listening. You sitting back listening. But you want us who was in the control of this case. But something just ain't right about this case. Don't know 84-year-old lady go missing like this and da-da. Then all of a sudden everything changing. Now, the FBI has, to me mentally, has taken control of the narrative. First, they gave the family a chance to do their thing. But they know something, it's like an insight, it's like somebody wants us to see it one way when it's another way. Right, Barry. But see, we can see they don't understand. We're not going to say that like that. Fear claim out and say that. But like you said, they're not paying attention to this case. And so I'm about to let you hear somebody else say that it just ain't right. And the FBI know what time it is. Trump knows what time it is. And then see, soon you say Trump name, folks get scared. No, Trump know what's going on. He told y'all it was a solution. He told him that. We talked about that. This is not about do you like Trump or whatever like that. It ain't got to do that, but it does have to do with politics. And Savannah knows this. Savannah brother knows this. Right. Yeah, I remember Susan Smith. So y'all, I'm going to play this video. I'm going to play the video all the way through the first time. This is a reaction channel. If you're new here to our channel, is a reaction channel. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna play it all the way through, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna discuss it. If you come in here late and you notice that we're not playing the video, that's your fault. I'm not gonna pay the chat no negative comments, no attention, but I do have somebody watching the negative content, the contents, the negative comments. I'm sorry.
Focus at the Bureau, former FBI director. By the way, we welcome him to our Fox family once again, the newest Fox News contributor. He's back, the one and only Dan Bongino. You come at this, Dan, first of all, as a friend, number one, number two, but also having now recently spent time on the inside. And it's so easy for people on the sidelines, Monday morning quarterbacks, to be second-guessing everything law enforcement is doing. However, I do think a definitive statement like we mentioned, the FBI says they are unaware that Savannah Guthrie was talking with her mom's suspected kidnappers, means they know everything about the communications to this point. What is likely in your mind going on behind the scenes?
Okay, so the FBI was brought in a couple days after. There was, you have to have a request for assets to be brought in, or you have to have federal jurisdiction. This was done by request. That's why you saw the crime scene was reopened again. That was the FBI ERT, from what I've heard, going back in, the evidence response team, to take over and do what they do. They do it best. That's all they do is process evidence at these scenes. So what's going on right now? I see three possibilities, Sean, and I'm not going to weight them. These are three possibilities. If you apply Occam's razor, I see could apply. The first would be, obviously, it's a kidnapping. That was an intended kidnapping for a ransom payment. That would be the first possibility. Again, I'm not weighting any of them. The second possibility would be this was just a crime that went awry. Someone was at the house. Maybe it was a burglary. Something went bad. And then you've got some bad actors committing another crime unrelated, in other words, requesting a ransom for something you didn't do just to take advantage of a situation like this. The third possibility, again, this is where I think you have to kind of think outside of the boxes, especially given some of the messaging that we've seen lately, is the possibility that there may have been some kind of maybe a medical emergency or something, and maybe this was not a kidnapping. And I say that only because, and again, I'm not weighting these possibilities. We're just, when you can't find someone at a crime scene like this right away within the first couple of days, you either have really good surgical type operators, or the story you've been told or you may have believed may not be the story. I mean, think about it. What are the possibilities that there's no LPR trips, license plate readers, that Somex scrub, social media exploitation turned up nothing, that cast analysis, cell phone analysis, that there's other tools I don't want to really talk about, but I promise they're there. We've used them in cases, that none of this stuff was tripped after the Bureau came in and applied all their assets. It's just, it seems really strange.
Let me quote veteran FBI Special Agent Lance Lysing of Arizona, and he said the notes to the media outlets, that part of the investigation now he believes is come and gone. And then he said, in legitimate ransom cases, kidnappers move fast. They establish leverage quickly. Communication begins within hours, not days of an abduction. Proof of life is produced early and often. This case has not followed the history of a typical kidnapping at all. What does that tell you?
Well, there's two conflicting points on this. One, as I told you before, with this relatively, what appears to be sterile crime scene, you would have these incredibly skilled, and I don't mean that, of course, in a qualitatively good way, but they have these criminal skill sets that they were able to not leave a trace of DNA, a footprint, a fingerprint, a tire print. Again, they didn't trip a license plate reader, managed to turn off any cell phone type of activity, and then you forget the medication. It just, again, it doesn't seem like that's particularly well thought out. How are you going to go out and get the medication afterwards? It's not that easy to go pop in a Walgreens when you know everybody on planet Earth is looking for someone. I mean, it just seems like a lot of conflicting information, and that's why I say I'm not weighting any of those stories, but clearly at this point, I think we have to consider everything outside the box, because whatever's inside the box is not really panning out right now.
What do you say to the FBI experts that I've talked to, the sheriff's department out there, that they're not ruling anything out? And I want to be very clear, I'm not rushing to judgment. I don't want people to rush to judgment. We don't do that on this show. We make a point of not doing that. But 90% of abductions usually involve someone that the abducted person knows, and a lot of times that ends up being family. Now, those are the odds. I'm not making any conclusions, any accusations at all. Just to the contrary, I think we need to be very careful. But those numbers are real. So if you're an FBI agent, that is in your head, correct?
Yeah, I mean, you got to consider that. I believe that was scenario number 2 I discussed, that this was an incident that went bad, someone who knew the person, like you said, landscaper, electrician. We had a case in Florida like this before it was in the FBI, way before, but a woman had let a handyman in the house. They found the woman in the septic system. I mean, you have to consider that it was someone in the inner circle as well, that it was a horrible crime. We don't know what happened, and that the distraction may be, in fact, a request for ransom later on to get people off the trail. I'm not telling you it's what happened, but again, when the story doesn't pan out after a couple of days, and I've been on these, Sean, I mean, we handled the Minnesota shooting of the lawmakers. You know, we had the incident up in Coeur d'Alene. I mean, we get woken up, me and Cash, all night on this stuff. I know the assets that get deployed. If you don't find them within the first couple of days, there's something about the story that's not right. Yeah.
This man don't know us. This man said everything we said. This man don't know us. This man don't know us. I don't know him, and he don't know me. But he don't said everything we said. Now that y'all don't pay attention and find out everything that he said is the same thing we saying, what are y'all saying to yourself?